Daydreamers.
What's up, y'all? I'm Amber, and I'm here with the guys, Don and Kevin. We are coming at y'all with the Chemical X Podcast, Episode 8. We have some good stuff in store for you guys. Stay tuned for this week's hot topic, talking about Netflix exclusively carrying Disney content. Is this a good or a bad thing? Also, find out what your Black Geekazoids have been up to in our Nerd Ventures segment. But first, let's jump into the X News, starting with Don. What's going on with you, Don?
This is what's going on with me. The DC Powerless trailer. The shit looks retarded, and not in a good way, like how, New Yorkers or from the 90s used to say retarded. It just looks fucking retarded, like mentally disabled retarded. I know it's not PC, but I don't care. DC's Powerless looks fucking retarded because it's a ripoff of Marvel's forget what the fuck it's called, but it's a Marvel show just like this that's going to be coming out. That's like a comedy take on the whole superhero thing. While other shows are dark and gritty, there's going to be another show that pretty much laughs at the dark and grittiness of it. I think it's called Cleanup Crew or some shit like that. Oh fuck, I forget what it's called, but anyway, DC's Powerless is essentially like that. It's about these people who are powerless, but they're in the DC universe, and they see stuff like Superman crashing into buildings, and they're like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And they just talk about what's going on in this superhero world. The trailer shows a great cast and everything, but, it has people from, as Vanessa Hudgens. It has a whole bunch of motherfuckers who I think are funny, but they're not funny in this. It looks pretty unfunny. So I don't know how else to explain it. It's like you see the punchline and you should be laughing, but it ain't shit funny to laugh at. And that's how it looks to me. So I feel like DC is going to be contributing to more superhero fatigue with their lackluster ass comedy that's ripping off Marvel. And that's the X News. They had a lot of opinions and not that much news. It's mostly my opinion. But yeah, it's a powerless trailer. Check it out. Let us know your opinion on it. I think it looks pretty weak.
That's cool. I hadn't even heard of it, so I'll make sure I check out that trailer. Basically, they're trying to play off of the outside look into the superhero universe, like how people in, I guess, what, Metropolis and Gotham feel about these superheroes flying around.
Yeah, pretty much. And the Marvel show is called Damage Control. What Damage Control is it follows a crew of people who actually clean up after like a superhero flies into a building or some shit. And that's their premise. It's like the comedy adventures of these people who end up cleaning up after these superheroes. And Powerless is pretty much the same damn thing. It's just DC's version of it. And it doesn't look good to
Oh
me.
boy. Well, that sucks. I'll check
Yeah.
out the trailer just so I can have my own opinion on it. But yeah, from what it sounds like it sucks pretty hard. But I guess I'll go ahead and jump over to my X news. We finally got the trailer for the Assassin's Creed movie, and I must say, I feel like it looks really good. We have Michael Fassbender, aka Magneto, aka a bunch of other characters, as the lead role, Callum Lynch. I think this is an excellent move because I just love him and everything that he does. So this is just perfect. I could watch him all day. But for those who aren't familiar with the Assassin's Creed title, it is a game franchise. In a nutshell, it puts you in the shoes of a person in present day slash the future who uses technology to access their DNA and relive the life of their ancestors. The movie will follow this theme, but it won't reference any other existing content from the games. This means that Callum Lynch is a brand new character, and his story will be told in the Assassin's Creed universe. The question is, will this movie take the meh out of video game movies? I mean, for the most part, video game movies suck. We all know this. Aziz Amir, head of content for the Assassin's Creed franchise, thinks this will take the meh out of video game movies. He had to clap back at a tweeter who doesn't think video game movies will ever work. He states, "There's always a first. Like comic book adaptations, Assassin's Creed will be that one. Mark my words, pal. Smiley face." End quote. I mean, I have to say, when someone says "pal," you know that shit is real. So you better take what they're saying seriously. And I think to make this movie great, they're gonna have to take production seriously, and it looks like they are. Ubisoft brought in an entire film division called Ubisoft Motion Pictures. They will be working alongside Hollywood production companies to make sure that they don't fuck this shit up. And I'm like, yes, Ubisoft, well done. This is how you do it. This is how you make sure Hollywood doesn't fuck your shit up. You have to work alongside their ass. Anyway, I have high hopes for this movie. The fact that they're making this movie stand on its own instead of following the pre-existing game character makes me think highly of this movie, because we don't have to worry about people saying, "Oh, it's supposed to be like this," or "This character is supposed to do that." There's nothing about this character previously, so it's kind of giving them their own footing to put the movie on. So I appreciate that, and I definitely didn't want them fucking up Ezio from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That was my boy, and I don't need them fucking him up. Anyway, the Assassin's Creed movie comes out December 21st. I think that's around like the same week that Star Wars Rogue One comes out. So we'll see how this title competes with that movie. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see those two show down. After just seeing the trailer on the big screen, I think Assassin's Creed looks pretty awesome. I wasn't that excited for it initially, but I love Michael Fassbender as well, and I feel like he could really pull this role off. I love the effects. I love how it looks just like the video game, but I'm not too familiar with the Assassin's Creed series. I've only played Black Flag, but I I'm not so, as someone who's not familiar with the characters. I just saw this as looking just like the Assassin's Creed games I've seen in the commercials and watching other people play. It just looks like an Assassin's Creed video game, but the movie version of it, and it looks very fun, and I can't wait to see that shit.
Cool.
Man, I heard that most of the movie is supposed to take place in present day, which leads me to think that a lot of the movie is gonna take place in Abstergo, which I might be saying wrong. And if that's the case, I think that the trailer could be misleading because all of the good parts that make you feel like you're watching the game happen could be all in the trailer, and that would suck. So I hope that's not true. That most of the movie takes place in present day.
Oh,
That's all I got to say.
that would kill the vibe, bro. That would
Yes,
kill
it
it.
would.
Like, yeah, we get the whole technology part of it and having him rigged up to that machine and shit, but everyone wants to see the past. Everyone wants to see the Assassin's Creed group come together and do all those cool ass moves on the roof and
Right.
fighting with the weapons and shit. So if they take that away, or if they put most of that in the trailer, and that's all we're gonna see of that shit, man, that's Bomb City waiting to happen. So I hope that's
Hell
not the
yeah.
case.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really do.
Yeah, that's my least favorite part of the games too, especially in
Yeah, mine
Black
too. I'm
Flag.
like, I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I gotta walk around to my computer
Yeah, it's
and
weird
save it.
because it doesn't even feel like it's something that needs to be in there for the
It
story to
It
happen.
could
It
be
could
a
right,
just be like,
cutscene.
right.
That's all
but
it
it could
is.
also just be like, why can't we just be playing as this guy who's an assassin in the past? Like, why does there
Right,
need to be an Abstergo? Period.
right. I have no idea why. Um, we
Well,
should
that's my
we
ex
should we
news.
should do something about that.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
we should assassinate whoever came up with that concept.
I think you just
Aziz,
went
his
too
name is
far.
Uh,
Aziz Amar. Let's go after him.
Yeah,
okay.
Get
Don,
this
Don
shit
went too
going.
far though. Um, Don's opinions do not necessarily represent those of the whole entire Political X channel. As a disclaimer.
Uh, we should say that
Um,
before every podcast because I'm finna go
Disclaimer.
off.
um, I'm sorry for sounding tired. I was actually just hungry, and I just finished eating, so I should be able to get some energy. With that said, allow me to awkwardly stumble into my X news without any segue. Um, DC man, more aftermath of the damn Batman versus Superman not going down too well. we have a reshuffling of the deck over at Warner Brothers. They're now separating their filmmaking into. Now, the first thing, I should go back and say the first thing that happened in Warner Brothers is they decided to cut many of their movies from their future plan for movies. They decided to cut a lot of that out and focus on certain properties. With one of those obviously being DC Films, which is now an officially a division of Warner Brothers now, and then they're going to have like an animated division where they're going to be focused on the Lego Movie and stuff like that, and then some other division that I could care less about. So with the DC division, they are deciding to give power to. Let me see if I can find it again. I move my situation here. Okay, yeah, they're moving um, power over to DC's chief content officer Jeff Johns and John Berg, the former writer for the comics. Those two will now co-run DC Films. Another thing that has happened is Ben Affleck has been made executive producer over the Justice League films, as well as already being co-writing his own Batman movie with this guy. Everybody's name is just lost to me right now, John Berg. Um, I think that this is kind of good news in a sense. Zack Snyder isn't going to be removed, but he was the executive producer for Man of Steel as well as Batman versus Superman. For people who aren't familiar with movies, being the executive producer and a director of a film pretty much means that you answer to yourself. I mean, it pretty much makes you the guy wearing the big hat. You know what I mean? And you can make any decisions that you want when you're in those two positions simultaneously. I think that DC realized that that was a problem. I think, well, Warner Brothers, we should say, but from here on out, we can actually say DC because it's a DC film division. However, point I'm trying to make is that I believe that obviously they see that giving total control to Zack Snyder was a problem, especially in the sense that not only did he have total control over the films that he was directing, he was actually the executive producer for all of the films that will be in the DC extended universe. That will now be Ben Affleck, who will be answering to John Berg and Jeff Johns. Now, the thing about it is that uh, Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck have worked together before with Argo, and as well as another film that they have coming up, a crime thriller. So I think that they've done the right thing. I mean, this is exactly what needed to happen. So now Zack Snyder won't be able to just run wild and just make the poor decisions that he's been making. Um, we should get a way more cohesive story. And I think with Ben Affleck being at the helm of this whole thing now, who's transformed himself into, he was always a great storyteller, always a great writer. I think he always had the talent to direct and write, but he's also, picked it up as far as an actor. His direction for DC should really be able to right this ship and give us the movies that we really want to see. So some people are saying that this is to try to copy Marvel. What will be different is that, first of all, there's a co-runner instead of Marvel, where it has Kevin Feige as the head guy who answers to just one person. You're going to have co um, kind of it's going to be co-run by two people who answer to two different people. That could end up being a problem. We'll see. But yeah, you're gonna have two people, and they still want to be director driven. So they still want to give directors freedom to kind of do whatever they feel to have that creative. They don't want the flat look where every single film looks the same. I think that's interesting. And yeah, so that's the news for me.
That's cool, and I really think it's a good idea that they're getting more hands on this instead of everything just being left up to one guy that could make all these wrong decisions like he has. So
Mhm.
It's definitely a
I
good
think
thing.
the first thing I think to look for is for Jeff Johns or John Berg, I should say, to come right in and change the tone of Superman. I think that's the first thing that's going to happen. I think the fact that Superman died is actually going to give them the leeway to kind of have him just be completely different. I think if it weren't for him dying, if we just opened up in the Justice League, and because inevitably he will be returning, anybody who thinks that he's actually dead is a fool. I think there'll be a rebirth of some sort. I think he'll come out on the other end of the kind of dreary, joyless Superman that we've got. I definitely expect it to be different. But I also like to say real quick, I think Don wanted to say something. I'll say this real fast though. Um, when I saw Man of Steel, a lot of people did not like the performance of somebody help me with this guy's name who plays Superman. I'm drawing a blank.
Henry
I
Cavill.
don't know him. I
Henry
can't help
Henry
you.
Cavill.
Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that spy movie he was in that was directed by Guy Ritchie, um, where he played across from Army Hammer. Um, there's parts in that film where he's asked to be kind of like quippy and funny. He's like an American spy, and he has his moments, winks to the camera, kind of goof things, and he is just so bad at it. So it makes me wonder that if they do, try to bring some joy to this Superman, like I don't know if Henry Cavill is going to be able to deliver. He's just really, really stiff.
He just seems like a pretty face to me. I don't think he's that great of an actor. Like even if he's being serious, like the serious Superman to me, I don't think he's that great of an actor.
Yeah.
I don't think he is either. I just like how much he looks like Superman. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I really like about him. As far as an actor, not so much.
What are your thoughts on this, Don? Do you think it's going to make DC better?
Um, ah, do y'all hear that?
Well, you're
What'd you say?
Do
cutting
y'all
out
hear that?
there.
Huh? Hello?
You
You
were cutting
you
out a
cut
little
out.
bit.
Shit.
You good now?
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, my opinion on it, I think it's gonna be good because Jeff Johns is a great writer and he oversees tons of stuff on the comic book end and him, being the chief operating officer, I think it's just a great move, a bold move, and I think it's going to be for the best. I mean, involving people who actually care about DC's brand and are familiar with the comics. I think is you can't go wrong with that. I think you can only get better in removing Zack Snyder from any position. I think is good. I'm mad he's still like directing the Justice League thing for now. I hope they can get a new director, honestly. But I like that he, like you put it, Space, he doesn't have to answer to himself. He actually has to answer to somebody who's not this madman.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, at least they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, speaking of movies, let's move on to our hot topic. We're going to talk about Netflix and Disney. What do we think about their new partnership? And for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with this news, I'll give you a little information. Those of you who are unfamiliar with the Netflix Disney partnership, here are some details. I'm quoting Forbes. Quote, in late 2012, Netflix signed an exclusive licensing deal with Disney, though which it gained streaming rights to all Disney theatrically released films starting in 2016. In addition, Netflix gained streaming rights from the 2013 to movies released directly to disc. What are your positions on this, guys? Don, how do you feel about the Netflix and Disney decision?
I think it's great, just because we can have those all those movies in one place, and we were talking about it earlier. Just I like just the fact, being a comic book fan, having all the Marvel shit in one place. It's just amazing. I don't have to go and buy all the movies. I can literally just have a Marvel thon just right on my phone or my computer or what have you, and I think it should always be like that. I think now, if you look for Marvel movies, there's none on there. What happened?
I
Sorry,
don't know what that was. It wasn't me.
my chair
You
broke.
okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm still sitting, but I leaned back and my chair broke. Sorry.
Damn.
Almost lost
Fuck.
you there. I'm just playing.
Yeah, cheap ass chair, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't buy anything from Walmart and expect it to last for years.
Dude, do you have
Oh
one of
no.
those mainstay chairs?
Um, I think I had a few mainstay products, but they weren't mainstays. Um, they uh they uh they are the cheapest worst things ever.
I remember I had a mainstay coffee table and that shit was pure cardboard. It was
Mm.
folded cardboard and we had that shit for like 5 years. I loved it.
I
Mm.
mean,
Anyways,
isn't mainstay?
enough about Walmart. Go ahead, Don. We
I
have
actually
to
have
move on.
something I want to interject. I got this damn nice laundry basket. It's a wicker basket. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was trying to get something that just looked nice. That wasn't just an average ass laundry bag. And this shit has successfully come apart every week. Like by the time the wood finally all chips off, it's gonna be like 5 toothpicks and shit. I don't know why I was getting
I
a
have
wicker
that
basket.
exact laundry basket and that shit be stabbing me. I be getting splinters in my clothes and
Yeah.
shit. What the fuck? Is the
uh,
shit. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, it'll be so pretty and it's fancy. This fancy Walmart shit. Man, that shit falls apart every time I do
every
laundry.
time I touch that shit, something comes off. But anyway, yeah, I think the Netflix Disney thing is great. You know, I think it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, man. Me too. I'm totally shipping Netflix and Disney. I love it. This is a good move, mostly for Netflix. I can't really see what Disney is getting out of it, only because they're like ruling the world right now. So I don't see what Disney's getting out of it. But this is a awesome move for Netflix, who has been declining in subscribers growth over the past few years with other streaming sites like Hulu and Amazon sitting comfortably at the table. So they're competing with them and they needed some sort of exclusivity. Is that the word? I don't know. They needed that exclusive stuff to kind of put them at the top of the totem pole again because places like I said, Hulu and Amazon, they have Amazon, I think they're streaming live sports. Hulu has had TV series on lock for the longest, and they also had anime on lock for the longest. Netflix just recently started getting their anime game up, but so yeah, they're competing with a lot of these other streaming companies. So they needed this step up, and I like you said, you'll get all of your Marvel stuff. I'm excited about the Disney stuff because I'm sick of that vault shit. I don't want to wait to watch The Little Mermaid. Let me just watch that shit.
Right.
So yeah, I'm
I
excited
I
about it. What
wonder.
about you, Kev?
Yeah.
Um, so can you explain it to me again? Like, what things are included in this Netflix thing? I need clarification. I'm sorry.
Basically, there you will get all of the any Disney or Disney associated title. This includes Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilms. Any movie that comes out, it'll go directly to Netflix once it goes to Blu-ray. I think that's how it's gonna work. And then other titles that go directly to Blu-ray will automatically go to Netflix. And then also other things like the Disney Vault stuff, the older, the Jungle Book, Little Mermaid, 101 Dalmatians, whatever. All those movies that come out of the vault like every 10 years, they'll be on there. I'm not sure if they'll be on there indefinitely, but I'm sure that they'll probably have some sort of system similar to the vault, but it'll be on Netflix for this amount of time and then it'll go away and then it'll come back. And I think this is just great because now I have no reason to leave my house.
Okay. Um, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm conditioned not to like this, and that's just the way it is. I'm sorry.
You don't want to watch The Little Mermaid? You don't want to stream it?
Nah.
Do you? Do you have Netflix or Hulu or?
I have Hulu. I'm gonna go ahead and say on YouTube that I use someone else's Netflix, but I also hand out my Hulu username and password because that's the way it's going to have to be. I mean, that's what we're going to have to do with all this exclusive stuff. You know
You
what I'm
just a
saying? It's
brother
like,
trying to help out.
yeah, you know what I mean? That's the new bootleg. It's like, hit my username and password. You know what I mean? I trade you my Hulu for your Netflix, and that's the situation I have right now. And that's how I'm going to keep doing it. And, because it's getting, it just gets to that point. Now, you can't say anything about the fact that the original shows, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Um, but exclusivity, I think it's just kind of lame, man. I think it takes away from what made streaming great, and what makes streaming great is that you don't have to pay 200 some odd dollars to the cable company to get 300 channels just so you can watch 10. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because the way they make the packages is like you have to keep upgrading packages to get these channels and stuff, and before you know it you have 300 channels when all you wanted was ESPN, AMC, NFL Network, blah blah blah. So um, it just got to the point where I was willing to give that up just to pay $10, $20 a month to watch certain things. um, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, you're
I don't know.
preaching to the choir because at this point I'm like anything that takes control out of these expensive ass cable companies' hands, I'm down for it. Whether that be Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, whatever. And I password share too. I mean, I password share with my Time Warner shit. I hope no one that works for Time Warner watches this, but whatever. I mean, I'll hand out my password so that someone else can get HBO or vice versa. I was doing that when I was living at my brother's house. So, I mean, it is what
God
it
bless
is.
you.
And if that's what we need to do in order to get everything that we want, that's fine. But really, is it is it really Netflix's fault for this exclusivity battle, or is it Disney's fault for being bought that they have a price to exclusively be on one streaming site? So really, I mean, I don't know who's the responsible party, Netflix for purchasing or Disney for selling.
Very, very interesting question. I think it's a big circle jerk, and I question how
Yeah.
much money actually exists at this point, because it's a bunch of big ass companies that are all just circle jerking each other, and it makes me wonder who actually has money. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be for real. And where is it at? I hear that there's like $1 zillion overseas that like the 1%, where the 1% keeps their money, and maybe that's where all the actual money is in the world. But did $500 million really get exchanged? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I just wonder. I don't know. I'm probably getting off subject, but it's just like I don't know what they're doing sometimes. Just kind of like everybody is just jerking each other off. Disney, I mean not Disney, Direct TV and AT&T together now. It's like, what the fuck is even going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for the Netflix, I agree with you too, Space. Where the fuck is the money coming from? I think it does make sense because I've heard stuff just like Amazon that Netflix doesn't really make any profit because I guess because they're always
Right.
buying licensing and shit like that to get
Hmm.
more content, so they're not really making and they're losing subscribers like you said, Amber. So I guess they need this money from Disney, and Netflix is to me like the biggest of those streaming services out of Yahoo or out of Hulu and Amazon. I feel like Netflix is the top, so it makes sense that Disney would go with Netflix and not like whatever like the ones that came after it. But
Hmm.
I feel like the whole cable thing is like that. It's a monopoly because there's no competition. There's no like alternative. Like here, Amber, there is like no Time Warner. It's just Comcast, and if you're lucky, like Dish Network shit.
Oh, I remember having Comcast bitch ass Xfinity.
Yeah,
They suck balls, bro. I
yeah,
can't stand them
yeah.
and their customer service.
Of course, but imagine if we had, Comcast, FiOS, Time Warner, like the 500, not 500, but maybe like 50 more other ones. Like I hear of cable companies all over the place now, but they're not here because there's a monopoly and shit in our area. I like the fact that we have options, and I feel like it's good for the consumer somewhat to have options. Just like with you can either get a PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. It depends what the fuck you want the most. Do you want like good graphics? Do you want exclusive games? Do you want good online play? Which one do you want? And you pick the one that you really want. Like I'm gonna pick Netflix over Hulu or Amazon because I want all the movies that they got, and I like how the service is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but if I want something like on Hulu, I'm going to pick Hulu. If I want Amazon stuff, I'm going to pick Amazon. So I don't feel like it's super bad for the consumer. I think it'll get bad when it just becomes like a monopoly where like there's only one streaming service and it only plays what they want. And we have to, and it becomes inflated like cable for the most
It'll
part.
exactly. It'll be just like cable, or like Space said, we have to pay $200 for 300 channels to watch five of them. And it's even great. The choices are gonna get even bigger because I think in the future these television networks are realizing, hey, we don't have to go through these bitch ass cable companies.
Right.
We can just come out with our own app. And that's what HBO Now is. HBO Now, you get all the benefits of having HBO, except for it's $15. All you need is cable and that extra $15 for HBO Now.
Right.
So I'm waiting for the day where I can either have Netflix, maybe have a few other apps like maybe AMC, Sci-Fi, and HBO, and at that point I'm paying less for everything that I want instead of getting all this other shit that I don't even want
Right.
for more money.
See, and
So
that's pretty much how it should have always been when you think about it. Like it should have been like
exactly.
this like 10 years ago, where it's kind of like a what do you call it, a la carte or whatever, where you just pick and choose what the fuck you want. But I think the prices need to go down because once you start adding up, say everything's $9.99. You know what I'm saying? If you get Netflix plus HBO plus ESPN plus AMC. If you get like 10 channels, you damn near paying, what you pay for cable. So I feel like the prices
Right.
would have to go down somewhat, and the thing that could make the prices go down would be that competition because people be like, hey, look, we got it for cheap. No, we got it for cheaper. We got it for this, this, this. So I feel like it could, it's hard to tell how it's going to affect the consumer, but I feel like it's hopeful that it could be good for us with the competition. Hopefully that means lower prices and more content.
But see,
Hopefully.
my point is almost kind of pointless because I'm just asking a really stupid question. I guess I'm trying to create a conspiracy theory, but um, if if you can dumb yourself down for a second and stoop to my level of just complete utter foolishness, um, hear me out. Disney, right? Disney went through its period of suffering, and it what used to be one of the most like sure thing stocks you can buy and everything. And they went through hardships, and then they started buying up everything, including Marvel, which they've now turned into a cash cow, including Star Wars and stuff like that. So they spent all that money to make all those movies, and they should have at this point profited a total of billions of dollars from those movies. Disney owns ESPN. ESPN is going broke. They are firing people left and right. They're cutting back on shows and stuff like that. Many of their old, people who've been with them for 20 years, 30 years, Chris Berman, they're all retiring and getting fired and stuff like that. Um, now, who is it? I believe it's Verizon or Xfinity was trying to do a package. No, yeah, it is Xfinity. They were trying to do no. It's Verizon. Was trying to do a package that would have been a la carte, where you can get certain channels for a certain price, and that's how you pay your bill. But like it started with like a package. ESPN or Disney refused to have that and started a lawsuit so that people could not actually join that service. Why? Because the reason that we get packages the way that we do is because certain companies spend a lot of money to be included in basic packages because they want everybody to have their service. Disney would not accept ESPN not being able to be automatically a part of a channel package because they lose money. So, how can Disney make so much money, but then always want so much money and then sell themselves to Netflix? If Netflix has never profited before, as well as, well, I believe they have, but like Spotify has never profited before. You know what I mean? Most of these companies make their money off of how much money is invested in them. That's their real worth. So I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, how can Disney claim to be broke and rich at the same time? Like, how are they getting away with that? Is this the Illuminati?
I'm down with it. I think Disney is gonna rule the world in the future. Everyone thinks it's going to be Google, but I beg to differ. I think Disney's going to have control over all this shit.
I
But most of
think
these companies are
so.
not profiting. Like seriously, like I think the most profitable company in the world by far is Apple. Um, but most of these companies do not make profits. Samsung hasn't profited off their cell phone industry in years. They're taking losses. How can all these? How can we be in $1 trillion deficit and then all these businesses are like bankrupt pretty much, but still running? How is this happening?
Big business buyouts. That's how. That's
That's
why we're in a
exactly
deficit because these
what
motherfuckers
I'm
failing.
saying. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. Nobody got any money.
Stop failing. Stop trying to sell me a fucking landline.
True. True.
That's just the effects of capitalism. Space. It's just capitalism at its finest, I guess. That's what I always blame shit on. Fucking
I'm just trying
capitalism.
to start a stupid conversation. I'm just trying to start a conspiracy
I
theory.
mean, it's not
I want
stupid.
people
Yeah, I don't
Even
think
think
it's
I don't
stupid.
think it's as far left as a conspiracy. I think
Right.
it's the real fucking deal. These big corporations keep borrowing money, keep selling themselves, borrowing more money, buying other companies, so on and so forth. And the government just keeps giving big business bailouts and buyouts or whatever the fuck the word is. And because they get their asses saved every time they go into a fail, they just keep doing the same shit over and over. Keep
interesting.
recycling.
Yeah, and
I
those
hope I want people
corporations
to
look out.
comment. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
I was gonna say those corporations look out for the government officials that
And the
look out for them.
politicians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very true. Very true.
it's just like you said, a circle jerk of sorts. This
And at
is
the
the
end of the
world
day, we
we live in.
working and we pay those
Right.
taxes.
That's the main thing. We should get some of that fucking money for the most part. Uh, I'd rather have some of that. How much was it? $500 million they gave Netflix or whoever. Like I
I don't
would.
know. I made that number up. I don't know.
Okay, I would like to get some of that fucking number because I deserve it. You know, Amber deserves it. Space, you
Yeah,
deserve
I
it.
pay $10 a month for you, Netflix.
Yeah,
I don't deserve
Where's
it.
my money?
that's
I
what
Where's
I'm
don't
my
deserve
saying.
it.
return?
I haven't done anything to stake claim to millions of dollars.
I have. Fuck it. Give me my money. I take that shit this evening. What
I'm
time
a
I
is
can
it?
loyal
say with
customer.
all
I think we've
honesty, I
had
have not.
Netflix for like 5 years now. Loyal. We loyal over here. So where's my money?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm probably worth about $5. I'm probably. I mean, like not even per hour, like $5 a week.
Damn.
I think if I was reasonably paid for what I do, it's like $5 a week.
Hmm.
I don't. I don't. What do I do? You know what I mean? Like
I think
I
I
I'm
don't
like
take
know.
five
long
dollars a week.
naps.
I think I'm like $5 a week when it comes to movies because I can't stand like going to the movies.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Movies are slowly starting to suck.
yeah. I guess that's why Netflix is buying so many of them. I don't know. But anyway, since we're talking about movies sucking, my nerve ventures, because we're done with Netflix and Disney talk, right?
We're all
Yeah.
done. Let's head
So
into
from
Nerve
for
Ventures.
my nerve ventures, I went to go see fucking X-Men Apocalypse, and yeah,
Eee.
it was. I can see why they call this shit bad. It's fucking bad. But it's not as bad as the Fantastic Four, and we'll get to that with your nerve ventures later, space. But this is something that I noticed.
Maybe.
This is something I noticed, like with the opening sequence. If like, it's so corny, it's so bad. This movie pretty much looks like it should be a sci-fi on the Sci-Fi Channel, like those type of movies, straight to DVD type of movie.
Is it good bad?
It's not
That
Power
sounds
Rangers
like
good back.
good bad.
No, not like Sharknado bad. It's just bad. It just looks like it should not have made it to the theaters. Is what I'm trying to say. It looked like it should have went straight to Netflix or to DVD or something like that. That's just what it seems like. But it has all these big name people in it though. Michael Fassbender does a great job as Magneto. He's still a badass. Jennifer Lawrence looks good. Not like as an actress, she just looks good. I like Olivia Munn too. She looks great as Psylocke. She looks awesome. Oscar Isaac is really menacing as Apocalypse. All these amazing actors do a great job, but the story, how everything is jumbled in there, it's just I didn't even see the whole movie because I had to leave to come do this. But this from where I jumped off, I left right when they're going to do the big ass battle scene that they do at the end of every fucking comic book movie, and I wasn't even excited for it. You know, I was happy to leave because it wasn't that great. The special effects didn't look that great. It's a lame ass X-Men movie. They don't hardly do anything with their powers. The fight scenes look pretty lame. It's just a lame ass X-Men movie, and it's definitely the worst of these last three. And it's so funny because in the movie they go see Return of the Jedi and they try to make a meta wink at the camera type joke like in Deadpool where they're like, you always know the third movie is the worst. And I'm like, why the fuck would you say that? That's like,
when it's fucking true.
right. It's like you're trying to be funny, but it's not working because it's true. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I shook my head at the screen in disappointment and bewilderment. So, fuck that movie. But the chick who plays Jean Grey is pretty attractive too. And that's
Yeah, she's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Sophie Turner, man. Yeah, she is. As the older she gets, man, she is really becoming a very beautiful girl.
She's gorgeous.
I concur with that.
I don't know how I felt about her as Jean Grey though. I watched like the first half of the movie, and I feel like I'm not sure what her acting career is like outside of Game of Thrones, but I felt like she struggled with her English accent, and it's like American English accent. I think that's what she was supposed to have, right? Or was she supposed to have an actual like English like Professor X accent?
And I didn't notice any accent personally.
So she was supposed to have like an American accent, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Does she naturally have an English accent?
I think she has a natural English British accent, and I can't because I watch her on Games of Thrones, and that's what I expect to hear from when she opens her mouth.
Right.
But to me, it seemed like she struggled with it, and possibly because she's up here talking to a guy that has a British accent, so it probably was a struggle for her to maintain a neutral accent and not bring out her British accent when she was speaking to Professor X. Speaking of accents. I don't know who the young woman is who plays Storm, but I just feel like her accent was so forced. I was like, could you guys not hire an actual African woman that has this accent so it just doesn't sound so bad? Like, she's worse than The Rock in Hercules. It was very, very bad to me. I just couldn't stand listening to her. And I wanted so bad to love Mohawk Storm. I was preparing for this. This is what I was waiting for. Whole time.
She just did not. Like, I agree. Sorry, not cutting you off. I agree with you though.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she just doesn't seem like an African person at all. She looks just like an American black person that was dropped in that movie. She just doesn't seem like she's African, and you can clearly tell because of the accent. She just sounds like. And if we go back to
our last podcast talking about whitewashing. And we brought in the thought on colorism as well, and that's the same thing that I think was done here. You know, she's a fair-skinned black woman. She's not even African. She doesn't have an African accent, and they put her in that role to have an African accent. I'm not saying that every African role that's out there should be an African person. I'm not saying that, but can we sometimes get someone who naturally fits this role, who fits the skin tone, who fits the accent, so that we can get a good Storm? We've already had Halle Berry. We've already done that. We've already done the American in the place of an African woman. So I want to see the real Storm, and I feel like this was the chance. We're rebooting this shit. We're starting over. Nope. Psych. Psych. Here's your American fake ass African accent Storm. just dressed in a new package.
Yeah.
Man, these X-Men movies are some trash. The last two was okay. Like they were I liked the last one. I was able to enjoy it because they brought in Sentinels, but then they didn't use them enough, so I was able to still be like, well, I'm still not getting the X-Men that I want. And when I saw the trailer to Apocalypse, I was thinking that shit is gonna be some garbage. And I don't think I'm gonna waste my time going to see it.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, since we were talking about Africa, they did the damn guys in Egypt thing too. There's a flashback at the
Oh
beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a flashback to Egypt when Apocalypse is first around. When he's getting preserved to be discovered later in the movie. They show Egypt and it's all Italian motherfuckers or whatever the fuck Spanish motherfuckers, and it pissed me off. It's just a clear indication how bad this movie is. They did the damn thing again with the fucking Egypt thing. All these white people in Egypt worshiping this fucking Ivan Ooze lookalike. Which he really looks like Ivan Ooze too.
I don't know what they was trying to do with his costume. I don't know
I
what the
don't know
actual
either.
apocalypse is supposed to look like from the comics,
Not
but
like that.
I felt like he had a bunch of prosthetics on his face. Like I didn't feel like, oh, this is like a real god that's come back. I didn't feel that way. I was just like,
Right.
look at this dude
Yeah,
with
look
these
at this purple.
prosthetics and all this paint on his face.
Yeah, it's a purple guy in the
Yeah,
hood.
look at this purple asshole.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
They
it
some
was
big dummies
just
for that. They some big ass dummies. What you even got Oscar Isaac playing that role for? Like,
Right.
come on,
Right.
you fucking idiots.
He's way better than that role. Like I say, he plays it great, but he's playing that role. That's the bad thing. It's like you gotta take the good with the bad. Like he's Oscar Isaac playing that role, but it's a shitty role.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but it's like playing what role, yo? It's Apocalypse. It's not even like, come on, man. Like for real, what the fuck were they thinking? Why? Why? I mean, you. Why? Fuck it. I'm not even gonna waste my time.
yeah, man. I'm watching it the rest of it from the comfort of my damn bed. Not getting no dollars out of me with this one, Marvel. Sorry. But anyway, you all set on your nerve venture, Don?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Let's move on to my nerve venture and some more horrible shit that tries to get shoved down our throat and they think we're not going to notice this shit. I am trying my best to hold on and watch this damn show, Fear the Walking Dead. I'm trying with all my being to stay on board because I love so much the Walking Dead comic and series that I was trying to give AMC this chance, this run at doing something for themselves, doing a show in the same universe, and they are fucking it up just with the whole plot, all the characters. I don't like
Oh no.
the
Oh
characters.
no.
I don't like anybody. I used to like Strand. I don't even like him anymore. I don't like anybody. I'm just so sick of these spoiled ass apocalypse survivors. Like, these characters have always been in the best possible situation in the apocalypse. First season, their neighborhood becomes the army safe zone. So they're in this fucking safe zone, chilling in the pool, in their own house for the entire first season. Then they meet a guy named Strand, they hop on his boat. They waking up to beautiful ocean sunrises. They get to go to sleep. They get to just not worry about the fucking apocalypse really in general. Then, now, season 2, they finally get to this Mexican villa that they've been trying to get to forever. And now they sitting up on the couch watching TV and shit. So I'm like, is this really the apocalypse? These motherfuckers aren't real survivors. They're spoiled as shit. They spoiled in the apocalypse. And while they live in this apocalypse luxury, all they do is complain to the people that have afforded them this comfort. Strand allows these motherfuckers to stay on his yacht. And all these people do is complain to him about how he's driving his fucking boat and what he's doing with his fucking boat. The whole time. This is what they do season 1. Now they're finally at this villa and they mad at the people that live there. They walking in these people's house to safety and they mad at them. Why are these motherfuckers walking around mad at people while they trying to survive? Bitch, bye. I am done. I'm
feel
so
so
over
sorry
this
for them.
fucking show. Um, Spoilers for anyone who actually gives a fuck. I don't. But Fear the
Oh,
Walking Dead
I
season
need to
two.
stop listening. I gotta stop listening if you're
Okay,
calling me
yeah,
spoilers. Sorry.
yeah. The Fear the Walking Dead season two is becoming The Walking Dead season two. Daniel is always snooping around and finds some shit out, and they find out that they're keeping walkers in the villa. And this is pretty much a redo of Herschel's farm in season two. Like we don't need a redo of The Walking Dead. You can't take this setting in this shell and fill it with a bunch of shit from the other show. Like that's not what we're watching it for. And lastly, given the fact that these spoiled motherfuckers have yet to experience any real survival shit, the show is pretty much just a telenovela with zombies sometimes. I just don't know if I can continue watching the show in rent.
Yeah, I don't watch the regular Walking Dead, and I was thinking that Fear the Walking Dead could be like a place where I could start, because I think the regular Walking Dead is like 8 seasons or some shit.
It's six.
6, okay, yeah, it's still like kind of a lot. So I was thinking, oh, I could watch this, but judging by what you said, I'm not even gonna waste my time with it. I'll just watch The Walking Dead.
Yep, it's on Netflix. Woo woo.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me? I think that like Fear the Walking Dead is like the zombie apocalypse if you just happen to like be a part of the group that's like full of just the worst people. Like they're just the worst. It's like you got like the wife that has like constant resting bitch face, and then it's like the husband who is constantly unsure of himself, with the son who is constantly sad, with the daughter who is constantly not listening,
And
and
fucked
then
up.
just to make it all worse, it's like they were apparently, you know, obviously had other marriages where they had these kids. So then the kids are struggling to even get along with each other. It's like Jesus, fucking Christ. Like it's I just feel your pain, Amber. I am gonna go back and watch it, but they're just the worst. They really are. That whole family drama that they have going on that they can't let go of, despite the fact that there's like zombies trying to eat them. Oh
Right.
man, it sucks in that sense.
If they were at least humble and appreciated the situation that they have been in for the entire first and second season, maybe things are gonna change. I mean, did you watch the last episode?
No, I haven't watched it
Okay, won't say
in
anything.
like 4 or 5 episodes, maybe. Nah, they probably like 3, 4,
Three
maybe.
or
I don't
four.
know. I
So I
don't
won't
freaking
say
know.
anything, but hopefully, with the change that happened in the last episode, maybe they'll get into some tighter situations and less comfortable situations, and maybe they'll stop all this fucking complaining, because that's all I feel like these people do in these shows. Like they have zero idea. If they want to make a comparison, which it seems like what they're trying to do, they're trying to take this situation, take these people, and repeat shit that happened in the actual Walking Dead series. They need to put them in some real shit situations,
Hmm.
because these people are comfortable as fuck all the time. Every situation they've been in is super comfortable. And if we compare that with The Walking Dead and how they started off in season one and season two, it's day and night. it,
Hmm.
it's actual surviving and then people bitching. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna stick
I
around
do.
and see what happens, but I just don't know if you know it's gonna be
I
something that I continue into the third season.
I kind of feel like it's almost like their situation is like if you got to watch people who were in Alexandria in the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, they're just really lucky
Yeah,
to kind of be able to thrive when everybody else is trying to survive. The fact that they haven't been exposed to being smack dab in the middle of a city, you know what I mean?
right.
But I think after already having Walking Dead, that perspective is not something that people want to see. If anything, we would like to see an even more dire situation than what they were in Walking Dead, I think.
This is true. This is true. Well, that's my rant for my nerd venture. What's going on with you, Kevin?
I watched Fantastic Four. It's not that bad to me. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that bad. Just didn't dislike it all that much. Um, to me, it wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't a good Fantastic Four superhero movie. Like, I feel like I'm starting to say this a lot. Um,
What?
and people who really love these superhero characters don't let me get away with it. But if this was like just a sci-fi movie, just a run-of-the-mill sci-fi movie that wasn't based on characters that people love and have expectations for, it wouldn't have been a bad movie. Like in my opinion, like for real, it just wasn't that bad. It was just super slow, and it just wasn't a comic book movie. I don't know, man. Like I liked the Reed Richards stretching. I like how that shit looked. Um, it didn't make any sense though that he got his powers and just kind of just left. It was like, wow, well, why the fuck would he do that? And then like you don't get to see him, and because of that, yeah, I mean, you just don't get to see him adjust to his abilities. You just kind of find yourself assuming that he must have figured this shit out. You know what I mean? Because he's kind of just doing it. So like he just comes back, and then they go back to the planet that gives them problems. I don't know. It's like it didn't. It honestly was a lot of things that didn't make sense, but I didn't think. I don't know. I just saw potential there where it was like, okay, I see what they were trying, or what the guy who directed it was trying. He also directed Chronicle, and it kind of reminded me of that, where it's just like really subtle nose to what superhero being a superhero is, um, and just kind of like a grounded, reality based way of looking at all of a sudden having great powers, but it wasn't executed well as a movie about the Fantastic Four. It just in that sense it was terrible. But it's one of those movies that like I can see why people hate so much, because you'd rather be bad, like I guess what from what Don said about X-Men Apocalypse. I feel like you'd rather be that type of bad where people are kind of like, oh man, this like sucks. You know what I mean? Like where at least you're entertained for some points. You know what I mean? But you're like, hey, this kind of sucks. You don't even get really much entertainment from the Fantastic Four movie, and I think that's why people hate it so much. But it really wasn't that bad. It was interesting to watch.
Yeah, based on what you said, I got to chime in on this. It sounds like you didn't really enjoy it that much. You
No,
said I
yeah,
liked it, but
I,
this part sucked. That part sucked. This sucks too, but it wasn't that bad.
it wasn't. It's like it wasn't good, but it wasn't like that bad. Like I feel like I saw worse superhero movies than that.
Yeah,
I
the
feel
ones.
like
Yeah, the Fantastic Four from 1994 probably that they just made to hold on to the rights to that shit, where the
not
fucking
just that
arm
one. I
looked
feel
like.
like it was better though than the two Fantastic Four movies that they made before with Chris Evans
Uh,
and Jessica Alba.
I think the
Those
first
Fantastic Four
one was.
movies really sucked.
Yeah, I think the second one sucked. I like the first one out of all three of them, or four of them. The problems with that movie are to me insurmountable. It's bad to me for any comic book, any movie. Fuck a comic book movie, any
You
movie.
talking about this most recent Fantastic Four?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I like I agree with your opinion to this point that I didn't hate it as much the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I got really upset. But the first time I watched it, it was I see what Josh Trank was going for. I see how he
Yeah.
was trying to make it like Chronicle. I see
Mm-hmm.
how he was trying to make it grounded. If he had gotten to stick to his true vision and the studio didn't intervene like it had, it would have been
Hmm.
a better movie. If they had finished the special effects, the CG like they should have, it would have been a better movie. If you look at the thing, that shit looks horrible. If you look at the
Yeah.
Flaming Torch, that shit looks horrible. Legends of Tomorrow
It
has
does.
better special effects, and that's a TV show
Yeah.
budget. And
Well, I thought the thing looked good, but I didn't think the Human Torch looked good at all. It looked like film student type of shit.
Yeah,
right, but you know why the thing looks good though? Every scene he's in is dark as shit.
it
Look
was.
at him. Look at him.
That's
Look at him
true.
in the light. In the light, it looks like shit. He looks like shit. And the Doctor Doom. What the fuck were they smoking when they came up with
Yeah, I
that
don't
shit?
even know what they were doing with his character, and like, what was his powers in the first place?
I
Like,
don't
all of a sudden, he just
know.
started
Yeah.
exploding niggas'
Yeah.
heads and shit.
Right.
I didn't
Right.
understand that at all. And even like towards the end, I was like, what happened? Did he just blow away? Like they go back to this place and they just blow his ass away after him being. They hyped him up as this like super dope, kill everybody. He exploding people's heads. He ripping shit apart with his mind and all types of other shit. And then they blow him a fuck away.
Right.
What
Where the
happened?
fuck did he blow to? And
He go right. Like
it's
I'm
so
lost.
it's so many problems. Like they go from planet X or whatever the fuck it's called. They go from Earth to that planet again, and they land in the exact same spot. Just shit like that.
No trajectory, no
right.
nothing. They have to plan with NASA. No shit. They just go.
Yeah, they just fucking go. And another thing, the reshoots. Why Richard Reed left and it goes 1 year later is because of the reshoots, because the studio intervened. There's tons of scenes that were supposed to be explained in that shit, and you can tell with the reshoots because of Kate Mara's hair. When you look at her hair in one scene, it looks like dirty
like
blonde.
and shit.
Right. And then the other scene, it's this broke ass, tired ass wig they slapped on her head because she had cut her hair after the movie had wrapped the first time. And then they came back with reshoots. And you can tell the reshoots because of how her hair looks. It's just done so fucking sloppy, in my opinion.
Yeah, the fact that like she got her powers from like being around when they got back and it hits her and then she just invisible. It was dumb. Like don't get like the movie was really dumb, but like to me it was like a good dumb where like I'm sitting there I'm like
Right.
I saw what he was trying to
Right.
do.
I
I was
think.
kind of like this. I was so sympathetic that it was hard for me to be like super angry
Right.
because I
Right.
could tell which parts without even knowing what you was just said. I didn't even know that. I mean I knew they did reshoots, but I wasn't realizing that the wig, the noticeable very fucking noticeable wig was because of that. But like it was just kind of like okay, you could just tell that the studio is what fucked it up, and it was like I kind of wish I could see what Josh Trank was trying to do.
Exactly. I would pay to see that movie. I feel like the thing is they gave this guy who did Chronicle for like what $1 million or something like that, this amazing movie, and then they give him this multi-million-dollar budget to produce this superhero film. And it was completely wrong. They should not have done that. They should have got another director, a more seasoned, older director to do this shit. First of all, or they should let Josh Trank have his way. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't going to do that. It's
Or they could just like allow Marvel to have the rights back
oh yeah,
and do something else with their time and their money. I mean, you're depreciating the value of the product
right,
by rushing movies out just to keep the goddamn rights. And then on top of that, Marvel has all but stopped producing comic books for the damn motherfuckers because
right.
they're trying to force you to stop fucking making the movies and getting the rights back. So it's like you don't have any support behind it, and all you have is the movie rights. So you can't make a TV show. You can't make Marvel produce the comic book. So it's like you're trying to keep throwing these characters back into American consciousness just to keep the rights monetarily, but you aren't making any real money. Just let them have that shit back. It's the pettiest shit I ever seen.
It
It's
really
like
is.
keep away. It's like childish.
It really is.
And they've been doing it for years now. Like you said, I mean, they've been doing this shit since 1994, just
Right.
shitting out these movies just to keep the movie rights. This shit is ridiculous. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And just one more thing, how stupid. Like to me, I love superheroes, right? But to me, Fantastic Four is some of the corniest motherfuckers there is. Like a nigga who stretches, a girl who turns invisible, and then a thing that's he's just rocks. That's his power. He's rocks. How did he get like that? Because of space.
He can't
But
turn
do you
back
know?
or nothing. He just
Yeah,
rocks.
he just rocks.
Always.
But why make that shit grounded? You know what I'm saying? It's just the dumbest shit ever to try to make serious. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, Marvel desperately wants the movie rights back to those motherfuckers, though. Like, I don't know if
Sure.
you guys know that, but they desperately want that shit back
Yeah.
because Fantastic Four historically is like one of their biggest cash cows. I mean,
Right.
Fantastic Four was very important to Marvel back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot to do with the success of Marvel, and their characters used to be central to many of their stories, but they don't focus on them anymore because they're trying to force Fox to let go of that shit. But like, who would have known that Fox is like ran by some of the most stubborn dickheads in the whole universe?
Right. I agree. It's just not good. Thank God for Deadpool, because if they didn't have Deadpool, it would have just been straight L's for them with the Fantastic Four and now this Apocalypse shit. And I pray they don't make another 3 X-Men movies, but I think that's what they're trying to do.
Well, the rated R Wolverine movie is official.
Oh, I'll probably go see that shit. I'm lying. I will go
Do
see
like
it.
solo movies on another X-Men?
No, because Wolverine is their
No.
cash cow, and Hugh Jackman's been Wolverine for what, like almost 10 years or some shit. He's been the longest. He's played like that role the longest of any actor playing a fucking role. I think or some shit, some crazy outrageous record like that. He's just
Yeah.
they put him.
He's done too much steroids for them to take him out of that role because he's gonna be like, after all the steroids I did, you motherfuckers really are trying to like
Right.
move on with somebody else.
What can I do? I
Right.
can't do anything else now. I'm just Wolverine. That's who I
He's
am.
gonna be like, all this back acne for you motherfuckers to fire me.
Right.
Did y'all notice that? I mean, look at him as Wolverine in the first movie, and look at him in the last movie, and
Yeah, he's Jack.
I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, he looks like a goddamn racehorse.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm cool on the back acne, bro. I don't want to see it.
What, Amber? You don't want to see that?
I don't want to see the back acne.
It's good
Is
stuff.
that what you're talking about? He has back acne?
I'm just fucking
No, I'm
with you.
talking about like he's Jack. Like, you know, they give those racehorses like a lot of steroids.
Oh,
and shit,
okay.
so, they're like just like motherfucking just like balls of muscle. I mean, it doesn't appear so because you never get to see them really up close like that. I haven't either, but I'm into all types of different things. But anyway, yeah. And after their like racing careers, they end up being put down because they just like fucking jacked up with steroids and they're useless when they can't race. So it's like that's where Hugh Jackman is. He's just like motherfucker. Like I need to be Wolverine now. I don't know what else. You know what I mean? Like if
It's
if
what
he's
I
not
am.
Wolverine, they'll just put him down.
Damn.
He gonna get euthanized and shit.
They waiting outside of the studio like, okay, bro, this is the last one, so time to put you down, buddy. Take him
Right
behind the
between the
shed
eyes.
with a shotgun.
Right. Just
Damn.
the fucking producer and shit is just like around the corner like, hey, come here real quick, you. He's like, what you doing with that shotgun though?
Don't worry about
about
that. Yeah.
Right.
It'd be
We're
like
just gonna
the whole
shoot some
Yeller
pigeons.
movie.
Come here.
Oh shit. Yeah. So
think-
did y'all want to do that tweeting thing?
Oh, yeah, okay. If you guys want to, so have you guys taken a look at the trending tweets from today?
I have not.
Okay, well, I have two. There's hashtag can't even think of it. Hashtag add butts to a game title. So like it'll be like Call of Butts 3. You know, people were like putting a bunch of stupid shit up there. I can't even remember the one that I read, but it sounded like an ebony porno. It was awesome. I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then there was another one, hashtag bad inspirational quotes. So which one do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to come up with a bad inspirational quote? Or do you guys want to come up with a game title with butts add to it? I should open my Twitter. I don't have it.
Damn, this is I mean, do we pick one and that's what we do, or does Dawn pick one and I pick one and you pick one?
There's only two
Just-
options, so I'll sit this one out. You can go, Space.
I don't know, man. What do you want to do, Amber? Which one?
Let's do bad inspirational quotes.
Okay.
Give us your words of wisdom.
My words of wisdom, a bad inspirational quote. Just give up. You know, you're probably not going to make it.
Yeah. It's harsh, but it's true. Harsh, but it's true. Okay, I'll do one. Hashtag bad inspirational quote. Always follow your dreams, so never wake up.
Ooh,
Damn.
jeez.
Damn.
All right.
These are amazing. I wish I
I
had
felt
one. I don't have
coldness
one.
enter my heart after I said that.
Oh shit! I don't even have one. I wish I had one. Damn.
It's all right. So maybe this is a segment we'll add, and we'll just discuss it beforehand, so we're all on the same page. But anyway, I guess it's time to.
Hey, can I change what you said earlier though? When you said call of butts,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's call of booty.
Call of Booty. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think the one I tweeted out was, um, damn, I can't even think of it. It was so awesome. It sounded like an ebony porno. It was great. I'll have to just tell you guys later. Fuck it.
Okay.
But anyways, I think we ran our course, guys. This was a great episode. Thanks everyone that is listening. And you guys also didn't know, but I have been live streaming this on Facebook as well. So I kind of put it out there on Twitter, on the Twitters, that if anyone's watching a live stream, they can ask a question in the comments, and I'll ask it at the end of the podcast, but I didn't get anyone watching the live stream, so hopefully if we can get this together and get people watching, we can ask the questions towards the end of the podcast. But anyway, thanks everyone for listening. Don, Kevin, where can we find you guys on social media?
You can find me at DONSGFX on Twitter.
You can find me at the Space Menace. If I have to spell it, don't fucking try to follow it. And you can, comment on this video, and I will roast your ass if you say something foolish.
Yeah, if you gonna say some dumb shit, make sure it's some smart dumb shit. Cause if he don't roast you, I'm gonna come to your house and stab you in the neck. So I'm just playing.
See, you always get to saying some shit that makes me have to do the disclaimer.
Okay,
the opinions
you
expressed
guys
by
can.
Don do not necessarily represent those
You
of the
guys
chemical
can
expert.
find me at Nerdy Amber. That's nerdy with an I on the Twitters. I'm the voice of female reason. I am here to calm down the aggressiveness of these two guys. And yes, they will roast your ass. So don't ask for it and you won't get it. But if you're asking for it, I can't stop them. So watch what you say. Another thing is, which movie was worse? X-Men Apocalypse or Fantastic Four? Let us know down in the comments.
Let us know. Let us know. Who's worse, Bryan Singer or Josh Trank? Let us know.
And don't get me wrong, I roast you guys in fun.
Yeah, it's all in good fun, y'all. We appreciate all y'all listening.
Yeah, I really do. It's fun to actually see people respond and have questions and whatnot, and I really do enjoy responding. It's just in my personality to mess with you a little bit, so don't take it too rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get in the feels. Don't get butt hurt.
Please don't. All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
McCoy's out, and he happened to be watching the episode, and I was like, oh, I thought they weren't gonna do that whole thing, but I guess they are. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I've always heard good stuff about Supergirl, so I might have to jump on it.
Yeah, people were in the comments calling us an idiot after the video that said that it wasn't gonna happen, and then they said it was. Like,
Yeah. Whoever the fuck that was, first of all, why the fuck did you wait until the news was announced to come to this old ass video that I uploaded like 4 months ago? You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Daydreamers unite.